All right, good morning, traders. Today is June 3rd, 2024. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land. And I'm talking about Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and everybody else. Thank you for being here and monitoring my content. I'm glad it helps. I hope it helps in some way. My SPY pivot this morning, 525.10. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY and IWM still in downtrends. Made outside days closing over the bullish crosses and over the 17 EMAs. SPY ends the day with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. Okay, so kind of bullish at the end of the day. QQQ still in an uptrend. Made a lower high and a lower low, closing the day under the bearish trap, but over the 17 EMA. Diamond Dow still in a downtrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing inside the bearish trap, but below the 17 EMA. FNGU made a lower high and a lower low, closing below the bearish trap and below the 17 EMA. Gold started a downtrend yesterday, Friday. Made an outside day, closing below the bearish trap and below the 17 EMA. Silver still in an uptrend. Made a lower high and a lower low, closing below a bearish cross over the rising 17 EMA. USO still in an uptrend. That's that flaky uptrend. Made a lower high and a lower low, closing below the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. UNG, Nat Gas, still in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing beneath the bearish trap and under the 17 EMA. UNG having a nice pullback. We'll take a look at it. US dollar index is still in an uptrend, pulled back to, no, that's in a downtrend. US dollar index is still in a downtrend. That's an error. US dollar index still in a downtrend, pulled back to close near the 104.60 area. All right, let's take a look at some charts. Good morning, T. Good morning, Lenny. All right, so here's SPY. And I'm going to kind of open that up just a little bit. All right, so here's Friday's price action, okay? This pink line, that's the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. All right? This is the breakup candle low. That's the other VWAP. We didn't come down and hit that. We didn't hit the 50 SMA either. All right, so here's SPY. SPY does a beautiful V bottom off of the 520 area, which would be considered a support area. 520 is big fat whole round number. That is a typical place for price action to bounce. All right, so here's SPY putting in an outside day. All right, which means a lower low and a higher high. All right, closing over a bullish cross and over a rising 17 EMA. Let's take a look at it on the 2-hour. In the 2-hour, we left off, see the yellow line? That's the 3 EMAs. On top of the 8 EMA we left off, we have a 2-hour uptrend. Notice the white line is not quite over the green one yet, but in the pre-market, it's there. Okay, so SPY moving up over the trend, the 17 EMA right there. So 2-hour is in an uptrend. 10-minute, we left off on Friday, we have an uptrend. Okay, another thing to notice here, price got on top of the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, so if I see green, take out red, all right, over this all-time high anchored VWAP, that's an indication to me that money is flowing into the market, okay? Notice we closed the day on Friday over the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, so we may get an MMRP, be a pullback to all-time high anchored VWAP, maybe back here to the pivot, which happens to be 526.10, 525.16, 525.20, 525.10. either one of those numbers, but right in this area between these three peaks right there, because those were resistance as we came up into that, and you got these valleys right here. Okay, so that's why my pivot's 525.16. All right, so again, I'm looking for, on the 10-minute chart, green erases red. All right, I'm looking for green erases red on the 10-minute chart. Also looking for an MMRP pullback to possibly the pivot, possibly this area right here, this all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, or this resistance right here. See that? 527.21. Looking for maybe a possible MMRP on top of that. All right, but we got a nice green candle. What do we look for when we have a nice big green candle? Because that was a nice size green candle. Follow through. All right, so we're looking for the follow through this morning. If we don't get the follow through, all right, it's kind of like look out below. It may come tumbling all the way back down. So we'll see what happens there. There's SPY. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. And we're going to go hit that on the daily chart. QQQ on the daily chart. Notice Friday's price action. Not quite as pretty as SPY. All right. Little weakness in technology. Not sure how well SPY is going to do today. All right. So QQQ got a lower high and a lower low. But notice most of that daily candle is all tail. That'd be the, way down here. See, we got very little body and wick. Most of this, 3/4 of this, probably 80% of this is all tail. That favors the bulls. That is a bullish candle. Even though it's red, all right, the majority of the candle is all tail. So the bears own the day, the bulls own the day right there. So there's QQQ, all right? So QQQ closing under a bearish trap, but over the 17 EMA. QQQ still in an uptrend, all right? SPY still in a downtrend. Why is SPY still in a downtrend? Here's a low. We made a lower high, and then we made a lower low right there. There's SPY. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, here's IWM's candle for Friday. They made an equal low and a higher high, closing over the bullish cross over the 17 EMA. Okay, so IWM looking really good and healthy right here. Okay, so IWM still in an up, still in, that's a downtrend right there. And it has to take out this high. So IWM still in a downtrend until it takes out 209.60. All right, pretty close to that right now. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow still in a downtrend. Here's a low, made a lower low. Here's our high right here. Got a higher low and a higher high closing inside of a bearish trap and under a falling 17 EMA, okay? Diamond Dow still in a downtrend, nice big green candle. Again, we're looking for follow through on all these big green candles. Okay, looking for follow through here. QQQ. See that tail candle? That's mostly, even though the color's not green, the bulls on that day, we're looking for follow through for QQQ. We're looking for follow through for SPY. See that big green candle if you include the tail there? All right, so SPY, we're looking for follow through there. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. All right, so here's FNGU, all right? Now this is, this could hold us back, all right? Because this is the top 10, the big heavyweights in the QQQ and the SPY. And they did not do the same thing that the SPY and the QQQ did. All right? The IWM did well, but the FNGU did not do as well as the QQQ and SPY. But I'm going to say, notice the wick and the body are less than the tail. If you measured this off, you've got more tail, okay, down here than wick and body. So to me, even though it's not a pretty candle, the bulls still own the day by, making the wick, the tail, longer than the body and the wick altogether. So the excuse me, bulls own the day on that. Even though it's red, all right, they had more. How do I say it? They covered more ground than the bears did. All right, so there's FNGU. Let's take a look at our technicals. All right, T2122. Here's Friday's price action. We got higher lows, and we did not make higher highs yet. That may be coming this morning. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we're in the buyer's chop zone, knocking on the door at the buyer's buy zone up here. We got in there first thing in the morning, and the bears threw us out. All right, so there's T2123. You can see Friday's price action here. A little green, a little red, a little green, kind of a dip, and then a huge rally coming into the end of day here. So you can see now price is separating from that 17 EMA there, turning it green and opening up a whole lot of space between the 17 and the price action up there. All right, let's take a look at the T2123 3 bar. Okay, notice there was space between the red candles right here on the 17, and now they've closed it in. They're closing up the gap that was open over above. Okay, so good news. They're already heading. It looks like they're already heading back towards the prior all-time high. We'll see what happens. They're up over the 200 SMA. Let's go look back and look at the 15-minute. All right, see now here's the 15-minute T2123. We'd like this to get back up on top of this 15-minute 200 SMA. All right, so here's like the spike candle. This is the rubber band candle. Notice we don't have any candles below the rubber band candle right there. Okay, let's go look at the other one there on the 3-bar chart. We don't have a rubber band candle here because we're still maintaining price action up over the rising 200 SMA. That's bullish. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. And here's the price action for FNGU on the last day of the month. That's May. All right, price action breaks down. And then about noon, somebody blew the whistle, and then the buyers jumped in. Okay, but notice they didn't get it back up over this neckline right here, but they did in the aftermarket. Okay, or the pre-market. Here's a neckline here with the head and shoulders. All right, so they could get it back up there after. We'll see what happens. But that was a neckline, and there was the breakdown. And you can see we recovered quite a bit of that breakdown right there. And then all happened at the last, it looks like the last 45 minutes were green right here for the green candles for FNGU. All right, let's go take a look at USO. Okay, take a look at some energy. Okay, energy, USO is in an uptrend because you got I got a higher low here and a higher high there. Okay, kind of a flaky uptrend. I gotta admit it. It's barely a higher low. That's barely a higher high. All right, it's in an uptrend. It's in a bear flag, but it's in an uptrend inside the bear flag. Friday's price action, lower high, lower low, closing below the bearish trap, below the 17 EMA. It's in an uptrend, but everything is pointing towards bearishness. But we've been down to this area 74.50. Once, twice, 3 times. This will be the 4th time we're in this area. So each time we come off of here, we bounce a little bit higher. So prices got expanding volatility ever since they've hit this 74.50 number. All right, so still in an uptrend because we made the higher low. All right, so there's USO. Let's take a look at UNG. Here's UNG. That's in an uptrend. We made higher highs. There's a high. There's a high. There's a high. And you can see we definitely made higher highs. That puts it in an uptrend. All right, for UNG, we have, for Friday's price action, a lower high and a lower low. This is my buy box in here. A lower high and a lower low, closing below the bearish trap and below the 17 EMA, okay? So, you know, like a pullback bear flag, bull flag right here, all right? Not all bull flags go up and over to the right. Some of them pull back like this and create the higher low. But anyways, there's UNG right there, still in an uptrend. This is my buy box off of minor support. You can see it hit some minor support here. I'd like to get a little bit lower, right about 1641. Right in there would be the sweet spot for me, or actually right down here, but you know, I'd like to see like a pullback right in there. So we'll see. Might not get it. It might take off without me. I can see the green candle already gapping up this morning with a higher low and a higher high. So we'll see what happens. I want it in here, but it's already moving up. The bulls are already stepping in. So we'll see what happens with that. That's UNG. Let's take a look at precious metals. Here's silver and gold. All right, silver putting in a higher low and a lower high right there. Friday's price action, lower high, lower low, didn't take out the low here, so it's still in an uptrend. Closed below the bearish cross, but over the rising 17 EMA. Okay, so this is still in an uptrend, looking like a tweezer top, double top there, but or bull flag. All right, could be both. All right, so here's silver still in an uptrend with a pullback to the 17 EMA. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. I would like to see it a little bit lower, like to see it hit some minor support down here. You noticed UNG did hit the minor support right here and is already bouncing. So I'm looking for, what was I on? Silver? Yeah, silver to come back and hit some minor support right here. And it may have done that in the futures market, and it's already on its way back towards, into the other direction towards the prior highs. So there's silver. Now gold's in a downtrend because we made a lower high. See, it came down, bounced up, made a lower high, and we made a lower low. Gold's in a downtrend. Okay, Friday's price action, outside day, higher high and lower low, closing below the bearish trap, below the 17 EMA. All right, so there's gold's in a downtrend. All right, let's just take a look at a few sectors, and then we're going to go hit the economic calendar. SMH. All right, so here's SMH. This is our semiconductors. Got a higher. Yeah, this is yesterday's. This is Friday's candle. Lower high, lower low. Closing below the bullish trap, but over the 17 EMA. Still in an uptrend, SMH. XLK, technology sector. Okay, notice all tail there. Nothing but tail. All right, the bulls own the day. XLK. We've got lower high, lower low, closing below the bearish trap and below the 17 EMA. Looks like they're going to recover that 17 EMA, get back up over it. sometime today. They're already up there in the pre-market. Let's take a look at XLF. All right, XLF still in an uptrend here, okay, making higher lows. All right, XLF, Friday's candle, rocking good day for Friday on the XLF. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bearish trap or bearish cross and over the 17 EMA. So nice work on the financials. IYT, transports, still in a downtrend. They have to take out this high or put in a lower, a higher low, all right, and then take out the prior high. All right, so IYT still in a downtrend. Nice big green candle. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. So trying to fight off that downtrend there on IYT. It's got a lot of work to do, but it could happen. Now, I think we've got FOMC and CPI coming in on the 12th. Now, I'm just putting it out there. There's a big possibility. They might want to hit 550 before those numbers come out, or they might want to be leaning on 550 just before those numbers come out. And I noticed yesterday was a fantastic bullish day for the SPY. And I'm starting to see some things turn around. Here's one of them, IYT, XLF, all right? Big green candles showing up here. Remember, this is just the beginning of this day right here. All right, XLF showing some signs of bullishness. XLK, all right, huge green tail right there. All right, so I'm just saying they may have their eye on 550 SPY. So just be ready for it, but don't forget, you know, there's still some stuff out there that is lingering bearish. All right, so let's take a look at our economic calendar. That's not it. Oh, here it is. Yep, I got it. All right, let me drag it up here. All right, for Monday the 3rd. All right, we got PMI manufacturing final. I guess they're going to give us the revised numbers at 9:45. ISM manufacturing index at 10. Construction spending also at 10. So there's Monday. Pretty much a light day. Pretty much. We got some data coming in right here, but pretty much a light day. You know, if you compared it to CPI and GDP. All right, for Tuesday, this is tomorrow. Motor vehicle sales, there it's coming in, not sure what time. Factory orders coming in at 10. Jolts also coming in at 10. All right, so no Fed speakers Monday, no Fed speakers Tuesday. Wednesday, we've got ADP employment report at 8:15. PMI composite final. All right, so we had PMI manufacturing final today at 9:45. PMI composite final at 9:45 on Wednesday. ISM services index also at 10 o'clock here. So here's ISM services index. This is ISM manufacturing index. Okay, both the same plate, just the same data collector, but a little bit different. One's doing services, one's doing manufacturing. So manufacturing's today, services are on Wednesday. Got a petroleum status report at 10:30 on Wednesday. Mostly every Wednesday, we get a petroleum report. No Fed speakers. Okay, for Thursday, we've got international trades, goods, and services at 8:30. Jobless claims at 8:30, productivity costs at 8:30, and a natural gas report, which usually comes in at 10:30 or 11 every Thursday. And no Fed speakers. All right, on Friday, employment situation. We're going to take a look at the ADP on Wednesday. And then we're going to look at the employment situation at 8:30. They never clarify which one is unemployment. It's like they change the names to these things. We want to know what unemployment is. That's what we want to know. All right. Anyways, the employment situation at 8:30. Wholesale inventories at 10 o'clock. A Fed speaker. And then a rig count at 1 like we have every Friday. All right. Then consumer credit coming in at 3. All right. So that's the economic calendar for Max Payne for today. 524. We could see it. I don't think so, though. Put to call ratio. Not too many puts. About 1 put for every call. So not a very good scenario for a put squeeze. All right. So not the best scenario for put squeeze to get that follow through, but not saying we can't have that follow through. We might have that pause candle that comes with the MMRP. All right, here's earnings calendar for today. Nothing really market moving, but some familiar names through here. All right, Tuesday, CrowdStrike, another familiar name, but it's only 75 billion. It's not really gonna move the market. You can see you get Bath and Body Works. Again, like I said, familiar names, but nothing that's really gonna rock and roll the market. Hewlett Packard, 22 billion. See what I'm saying? Wednesday, all right. Lululemon, 37 billion. All right. Dollar Tree, 25 billion. Remember, they just closed some stores. Brown Forman, all right. They're gonna report as well. Again, some familiar names, but nothing that's really gonna rock and roll the markets. Thursday, Autodesk, that's 42 billion. Again, familiar names, nothing that's really going to rock and roll the markets. Friday, 33 billion, Coca-Cola Euro Pacific. I thought we just did them on last Friday. I guess they still find it putting the P&L together. Okay, on Monday, Oracle. Finally, we got a big one coming in on Monday next week. Oracle, 322 billion. All right, so that's it right there. And let's take a look at the dollar. You can see the dollar making a lower high and a lower low. Even though I said it's in an uptrend, it's still in a downtrend because we got a lower high and a lower low. And then we made another lower high. Question is, are they going to come back down and pass through the 200 SMA? Or are they going to go up and take out this lower high that's up here? So that's the big question. Again, weaker dollar makes our goods and services more competitive. So we do want the dollar to weaken if we're going to be bullish. All right, so I do see ascending wicks, ascending tails right through here. It's a tail, ascending tail there, ascending tail there. So we'll see what happens. All right, so I'm going to take questions in the room, and if not, I'm going to go ahead and render my video. Not sure if I got disconnected or not.